What did a crush do that made you immediately lose interest? He would ask me questions about myself, then cut me off in the middle of my answer to talk about himself. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? I think I'd like telekinesis because I have a friend like that, and my cousin does this often too. It's like they bring it up so they can talk about it, but don't realize that you can just say what you want to say instead of bait and switching with who gets to talk. I love them both dearly, but it's so annoying. I was casually dating a 19-year-old guy when I was 18. He seemed totally normal until I met him at his house before a date and his mom asked him to take the garbage out before we left. He threw a fit that would embarrass most 3-year-olds, including crying, yelling at his mom, and punching the floor. I pretended that my parents were calling and needed me to come home, blocked his number, and never saw him again. I like to think that mom knew he'd do that and was trying to save you the trouble. Let it slip that he was cheating on his so and getting together with me. Killed that crushy feeling dead. A woman, thought she seemed cool. We went out to eat. She's telling me about how she fell on financial hard times and moved back in with her parents. The way she described it, just sounded like she got unlucky, not that she did anything irresponsible. It happens. When the bill came, I told her I'd pay. She said, "Thanks, I appreciate that, I'm trying to save my money right now." Me, "Sure, I understand, you wanted to get your own place again." Her, "No, actually I'm trying to save up $500 for a tattoo I want to get. I've got nothing against spending money on tattoos, but when you've just spent a first date talking about the financial troubles you have, maybe now's the time to start putting money away for necessities, not tattoos." Poured lemonade on my head in the middle of a fireworks show. She thought it was flirty and cute. Said she would turn up on a date, then flaked. Told me she had been called in to work urgently. I said okay, that's cool. Second time she flaked again, said that she had to tutor someone. Which made no sense because would you not have that planned? She told me her future plans to essentially become a gold digger like her mother. When I laughed it off, she couldn't see what I thought was so funny. Went on a date with them and they didn't ask me anything about myself. It was completely one-sided, like a job interview or something. I'm a guy, by the way. He wouldn't talk to me in person for some reason. Crush comes to my house. I explain how I'm slowly remodeling it and my plans for my house. She then starts telling me I shouldn't and I should do it her way, and let her take it over and let her design, decorate, and do it all. The hell I will. Back in college I was seeing a girl casually. Whenever we text, she'd take hours to respond to any message. It wasn't a big deal, since most of the time it was just chatting or setting plans for the following weekend or something. It was a little annoying because it'd take a full day or two to set up plans because of the slow responses, but whatever. I'm a bad texter so I can't really judge someone for that. But I started to notice that when we hung out together, she'd immediately respond back to any and every text she got. She had some loud song as the ringtone that played for like 15 seconds, and set it so that her camera LED would flash constantly while it rang. Totally obnoxious and made me really notice how often she texted. I casually asked her who she was texting one time and it was just some friend from school that had sent her a meme. After that I realized it wasn't going to work. Being a slow texter is fine. Constantly texting while hanging out was annoying, but not a deal breaker, especially if we were just chilling at one of our houses. But the realization that this person who was glued to her phone but didn't feel like it was a priority to respond back to my texts made me feel unimportant, so I kinda just drifted away. We stayed friends because we shared the same group of friends and it wasn't awkward or anything. I just stopped trying to do things with just the two of us. Oof, I had a best friend that was just like this. And he'd consistently claim he just didn't text much / was a bad texter. But constantly on his phone texting and doing whatnot whenever we would hang out. Like, you're clearly just fine at texting. You just didn't want to text me. There were a number of things that ended our friendship, but eventually what ended it was me just giving up on trying to communicate with him. She told me that spanking her teenage daughter didn't work, because it wasn't satisfying enough. Edit, a bit of context. This was long ago, and far away, in a European country. The mother was a statuesque blonde divorcee, and the daughter was about 14, and headed for trouble. Corporal punishment was de rigueur at the time, both here and in Europe. I decided that the situation was hopeless, and noped out of there ASAP. The daughter hated her mother, big surprise, and went on to get pregnant and force her mother to raise the child. I came back to the States and still consider myself lucky to have dodged that bullet. Asked me to be their wingman because they had a crush on my best friend. Oof, same thing happened to me. Then when I moved on, he started being sexually inappropriate and bullied me, Only when my best friend and my boyfriend weren't around. To this day I'd why I was ever attracted to someone like that. Edit. Since a few people have been confused, I'll clarify. I was single while into this guy, then I moved on and got a boyfriend while he was with my best friend. He then kept harassing me. Thanks for watching Team Astro. Please subscribe for more videos. Like and share and support. Use fun fact before you leave. A US dollar bill can be folded approximately 4,000 times in the same place before it will tear.